Yeah, how are you? Welcome to DiPaolotics. How you doing, kids? It's only an hour. It won't hurt that bad, I promise. Comedy greats. Is this really comedy greats? The fuck, I'm a strong feature act, but good to have you with us. My guest today, my co-host, is the very funny, the very lovely Joe List is with me.
Hi, everybody. I'm very nervous.
We're waiting for Joe's life partner, Mark Norman. These guys are joined at the hip.
Yeah, you're like my dad, and he's like my, nephew.
You fuck your nephew? For Christ's sake. I mean, for the love of Pete. Hillary, hello. Joe, what's going on in the world of... first of all, before we get into the politics, again, and this is... I'm not a pundit. This is comedy great. So if we veer off the track and go into other, other ventures like you coming in here and farting.
Yeah,
that's how we started the show. Joe walks in and drops a mushroom cloud on my bridge of my nose.
Well, I've been eating a lot of when I have really healthy and then chocolate bad. When I eat bad and good at the same time, it really smells like the inside of an asshole or a village with no running water.
Well, I'll take your word for the asshole part.
I had a lot of spinach and grapes and then chocolate, and I've been eating like a box of macaroni and cheese, like the whole box.
You're still doing that?
I just got back on it. I got off it for a while because I thought I had ass cancer, and ended up being fine. But now I feel healthy, so I'm back on.
Your chest X-ray looks like Dick Cheney's. It's like looks like the. It looks like the Lincoln Tunnel at 5 o'clock, just clogged with horse shit. I noticed you got a Bernie T-shirt on. It looks like a head of a dick with glasses going into a pile of hair.
It looks like old me. That's why I like Bernie.
I like them because he was a little more honest than the thick-ankle dog face that we're going to talk about. You know what I'm talking about.
Trump? Haha, nailed him.
What are you talking about? Trump.
Well, you were implying Clinton, but I made it about Trump.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever.
No, I was just touching my board here and not wondering why I'm not getting sound. Oh, now it's on, Andy? This is what happens. You hire a comedian to run the board. Yeah, I was surprised you... I'm not surprised. You're... I wouldn't call you a lib, though, would you? I mean...
Well, I feel like I try to be. Well, it's hard because I'd like to be a liberal. I like the idea of it, but then the people that go too far left, like these hipster numbskulls, they get a little too much, and I feel like an asshole. But I think, I'm not a big...
Get her back in the pen, that pig.
But I'm not a... I just think, I'm very pro-choice. I'm against war. I'm for gay marriage.
Who the fuck is for war, silly? Come on.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people, doesn't it?
Who?
Does it not?
No, it doesn't. Nobody's for it. Sometimes it's inevitable. Am I correct?
Was Iraq inevitable?
Oh, Jesus. We're going to get right into it
now.
Well,
you asked me about a war. Is it necessary or not? Was that inevitable?
We thought it was at the time, but I'm saying nobody's pro-war.
All right.
You think? Really? You think we're warmongers?
The aforementioned Dick Cheney, you don't think he was pro-war?
No, I don't.
All right.
No, I really don't.
Wow,
I think they did what they... Interesting. No, no, PBS.
We went to war, so they were pro-war, were they not?
No, he was doing what he had to do to protect the homeland.
Do you think
pro-war
the homeland was imminently threatened by Iraq?
Huh?
Was it imminently threatened by Iraq? Really?
Based on intelligence, not just Dick Cheney and Bush, your girl Hillary Clinton also voted for it. So a lot of people were
fooled.
She's
not my girl. I've never met her.
You said you loved her. You came in here.
I didn't say I
you
loved
liked
her.
Thick ankles.
I came in here and said, what's the policy on farting? And everyone said no, and I said it's too late. That's what I said.
Apparently, for somebody who's anti-war, you're not afraid to drop mustard gas when you get somewhere.
I'm like the Truman of this area.
No, I'm not, What did I want to ask you about before we even got into this? Oh, Louis, you've been, traveling with... What's it like to be playing in arenas? You were with me for a couple years doing,
A couple, for like 9.
What?
Together for like 9. Our first gig together was 10 years ago in June of 06.
Is that right?
Yeah, 10 years ago, a decade.
Do you have that circled on a calendar with my picture?
I do. I remember dates. My date that night was a guy named Bill. All right.
So what's it like opening in front of 15,000 people playing to that? Is the timing different? What is it?
Everyone says that with these arenas, but I don't find it to be all that different. It's just more laugh. Like people are like, you got to wait for the laughs, but I don't really find that. Just they come and it's bigger.
So there's no difference between like Madison Square Garden and Creek and Cave.
There's a difference. One's got people in it, one doesn't.
Anyhow,
but the theaters are better. We're doing theaters again now. I'm in Newark tonight, and those are better.
Oh, with Lowy?
Yeah.
Where in Newark?
It's called Bennigan's.
So you're finally making money.
Yeah, I'm making a ton of money.
Like
it's
a
crazy.
Republican. You're going to pay real taxes.
And I'm
now.
happy to pay my taxes.
You should be.
I'm happy to pay my taxes because we need roads and a fire department and the military so we can go attack countries that don't need to be attacked, folks.
God.
That's
What did you
Comedy.
lose somebody in fucking Baghdad last week?
I'm only kidding about that second part. Don't tweet me, please. But yeah, I mean, well, I'm okay with the Trump. He obviously is getting out of paying his taxes, but that's fine. It's just the problem, I think, is that he's like, no, I pay taxes, yada, yada. And he's supposed to be the man of the people, the whole thing.
No, okay, but Hillary, who's flying around on private jets and making $500,000 a speech, she's of the people, too.
I didn't say she was of the people.
Trump is of the people. He's a working class stiff. I'm not, and again, I didn't, well, he was. I mean, like he said, he's hanging out in construction sites with guys and putting up a sheetrock with his dad, so he's more of the man of the people than the thick-ankle dog face, don't you think?
And he's hanging out, grabbing them by their pussies.
Oh, and you're going to hold that against him. Has he raped anybody yet, like somebody I know that used to be in the White House? That was alleged, by the way. I'm not saying we know anything.
Oh, I think you meant Hillary.
Well, I'm sure she's grabbed pussy too. There's got to be some audio out there, a picture. There's got to be a video of her with her face down on a giant gray muff. Come on, all that coughing during the debates, those are pubes in the back of her throat. We know that as a fact, do we not?
Let's go to the tape.
I don't hold that against her. I mean, but Trump, come on. Did you see you like this one? I mentioned it yesterday. The lady on the fucking plane that he supposedly molested, she looked like the broad that slapped Chief Brody across the face after a kid was eating on the...
She really did.
Mrs. Kittner.
She really did.
And when she was younger, she looked like Bill Lambier.
I'm not going to take Trump to court and watch that Kittner boy spill it all over this courtroom.
You don't, but that doesn't, I mean, all those allegations are sort of falling apart. I mean, isn't that really a distraction to what's going on with the fucking WikiLeaks and shit? A little bit.
But also part of it, I mean, I'm not questioning the liberal media biased.
Yeah, you can't at this point.
But also, he's keeping the narrative going, but he's talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're talking about his speeches, and in his speeches, he's talking about these girls. And by the way, people are all upset with him. People are all upset with him for the she's too ugly to rape arguments, but I think that's a pretty great argument, to be honest. The old, look at her. Come on, folks. What's so bad about that?
Well, that's right. I said that yesterday on the show. All we hear for the last 20 years how Washington doesn't work. All these politicians are robots. They're fucking owned. Then this guy says shit off the cuff. They're like, oh, what a fucking asshole. Even joking about that girl on the plane, saying, come on, folks. People are appalled that he's not, defending it with more tobacco. Right. That's what I like about him. And again, I didn't even vote for him in the primaries. You know that.
I would hope not. Who is your horse?
Ted Cruz.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, you like Jill Stein. How's she doing? What has she got? My agent? I've been on TV more than her in the last fucking 3 weeks.
I voted for her in the last election because I felt like we should vote for these other candidates here in New York.
What is seriously though, I haven't seen anything about Jill Stein other than she had 42 points in a lesbian basketball game.
I think she's kind of just over there and nobody cares about her.
Well, she's at 2%. So what are you saying? I think there's a big to do about it.
I'm saying she's a carton of milk.
But what you did, you were talking about her a lot.
I voted for her in 2012. Yeah.
What did it for you?
Well, I just think, I'm in New York, so I feel like Obama's going to carry the state, as they say. I use terms like that to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about over here. So he's going to carry the state, and I do think the two-party system is a little ridiculous and silly.
Absolutely.
And it seems to me, I talk to people that really know politics, yourself, and know them and stuff, and people can talk economically. I don't know anything what they're talking about, but they make sense to me.
Right.
Moderately, but the people that they make a lot of sense about taxes and money and the economy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a great argument, but unfortunately you're still on the side that's going to deny climate change and abortion and wants to stop women from getting abortions, so I can't be on that side. If there was another side that was liberally progressive and financially conservative, maybe I'd take out...
See, I get thrown into that camp. First of all, like on Twitter, this guy, my buddy Art on Twitter, puts up, Nick DiPaolo's on, which I appreciate the plug, but even Sirius Radio said he'll have some of his conservative comedian friends in, which I don't have. First of all, I'm not even that conservative.
Yeah.
Right? I'll wear the label because in this business, if you lean right on 2 issues out of 100, you're a fucking, Mussolini.
Yeah.
So I quit arguing with that. But then this guy, my buddy, just tweeted he's going to have some of his conservative comedian friends on. You're liberal. Quinn's, I don't know what he is. I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah. He described himself one time, and I think he's right, as
a drunken Irish fuck.
The only true... He's like the true centrist, So I think people like to say that. He is
the true centrist.
Yeah.
And I had Kat Timpson here yesterday, and she's a libertarian.
Cat Stevens?
Cat Stevens, yes, that Muslim fuck.
He's a big righty.
He's he's being followed by a giant elephant. But Kat Temp, who's libertarian. The only person I'm having in here this week who's really conservative is Ann Coulter. She's not a comedian.
Oh, yeah. No.
Huh?
She's not even a human.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Joe.
I don't know anything about Ann Coulter.
You'd love her if you met her.
I'm sure I would. I don't even know her. I don't know anything about her.
She's funny, man. She's funny and she's fucking mean, but she's not a comedian, is my point. So I get thrown into that. And the whole, like you said, the pro-life thing or whatever.
Yeah.
They assume because I lean right, I'm a pro. I could give two shits. I see a homeless guy laying his own shit on the street. I'm like, that guy didn't need to be born. So I go and I whack him in the feet with a coat hanger and say, get up. But you know what I mean? I don't. I don't have a dog in that fight. And religiously, I haven't been to church.
But that's the problem.
Since I was touched by Father Breton.
That's the problem with the two-party system, and that's also the party with me being like, yeah, we should progress, and people are like, yeah, take down the cops are the worst people on the planet. I'm like, well, I kind of like them, So it's like a weird.
Joe. Actually, we're gonna get into this in a few minutes, Joe. First of all, you lived in Harlem for a year or two, and I noticed that changed your view on race.
Don't say that.
Yeah, you changed a lot. And I was happy for it. So much so I was thinking about getting an apartment up there myself.
Oh,
on 185th and Lenox.
That's not true.
But Joe told me an interesting fact when he came in, but I don't want to get to that yet. Where's Mark Norman? And how does he lean politically?
I think that Mark's not a big political guy. Mark's
me either. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Mark's pure comedian. He's got no. I don't think he does a lot of political.
No, I thought
analysis.
It'd be funny but it's always good to have. You're not either though.
I mean, I watch a lot of news now, and I study it a little bit. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm more. But it's hard to argue with people that watch news more because I'm not as smart. But I try to lean towards the side of compassion,
as opposed to what? I want dead babies in the street and all Asian people should die. What do you mean? I don't understand what that means.
I mean that I'm voting Democrat. That's what I mean.
But again, see, that's the big myth that people on the right aren't compassionate. You're the one killing babies.
They're not babies. They're little.
I know. I told you I don't give a shit either way.
But that's the problem with the two-party system is that if you're voting for Republican for whatever reason.
Well, how many parties should we have? There's a million different breeds of people with their political views are overlapping shit. We have to kind of. But I agree. Colin Quinn had the best line about that. We have
one of my favorites.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's about two Jews that go into a bar. No, what's the?
Well, he said with the dictatorship, there's one guy. They're like, this is a one-party system dictatorship. We're going to attack them and take them over. And you're like, well, what are you guys doing? We have two.
Yeah, we have one more choice than a dictator.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he words it a lot better.
Well, he words it like this.
Yeah, he's a little more articulate.
Absolutely. So it's just interesting, and like I said, fucking. I just find Trump. I don't think we need another Harvard law guy or a fucking even Yale. I would like to see kind of somebody that we can relate to. And Hillary ain't it. Oh, he's getting a text now.
Oh, he misunderstood my text.
Oh, great. He's going to be here at 1:30. He'll be here in time for the Bennington show, Marknam. Hello.
Sorry, I'm sending a text.
What, am I supposed to fucking sing?
Fill in the space. It's your show.
He's going to show up.
Texting.
Wow, boy, Joe's got quite an attitude, huh? Working with Louis after a couple months.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
I got quiet. But anyways, don't you think Trump, I mean, in all honesty here, can we be honest? Can we be men here?
Sure.
Do you think that the president should represent some amount of class? And
Hillary does.
But you keep going to Hillary. Let's talk about Trump for a moment.
I'm sorry, I thought he was running against her. Okay.
But like, just
What
Trump,
kind of class?
like not saying grab him by the pussies,
Like
not
JFK
saying,
fucking everything that moves, Bill Clinton fucking everything that moves and lying about it.
but like he's
That
completely
kind of class? Come on, Joey.
the tweeting 9 times in an hour. Do you think that's a little
I
strange for
thought
the
you'd like
president
that.
to
As
do?
being a millennial, you'd enjoy
I'm
somebody.
not a millennial. I'm 36 years old. For
Oh, I'm
God's
sorry.
sakes.
You're a fucking what is that? Osteoporosis? I
I'm
don't know.
Generation Y, I believe.
Is that what?
Yes, I believe. I don't know.
No, but so you're looking for like fake aesthetics class. I want somebody who's actually made a living in the private sector who could get it done. Unlike the thick ankle dog face who's been in government her whole fucking life. You know.
Yeah, I just think.
I understand what you mean. But I told you who he is, and nobody has come up with a better one. He's Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack. That's.
But
you
like
think so?
the kind of thing of like you're losing, so you start being like, I think she's on drugs. I mean, we should be drug testing this
I didn't
broad.
understand that one either.
I mean, can you imagine the situation where he calls her and goes, "Hey, we fought a good race. Congratulations." He's gonna go, "It's rigged. It's gay. She's a piece of shit." I mean, it's insane.
So what? It's well, it is rigged media-wise. You can't run against the fucking media. Whoever's got the. I mean, come on. Last Friday, they ran 23 minutes of Trump, the tape.
Yeah.
Access Hollywood, whatever.
Yeah.
23 minutes. This is ABC, CBS, NBC, and less than a minute on WikiLeaks. I mean, it's like, that's very important, Joe. I think people...
But part of it, don't you think, though, wouldn't you agree that it's...
Because of its pussy?
It's chicken
related?
It's chicken and the egg. You got to give the people what they want. The masses enjoy this more. I think the average American enjoys hearing a story about a guy behind the scenes.
Yeah, but we're not doing a sitcom where we're trying to get ratings. We're trying
They
to...
are trying to get ratings. That's the
I know,
problem.
but we're trying to...
You watch the baseball playoffs. Behind it, it says the debate is advertised behind home plate.
Right, but let me.
Used to be.
If that's the theory about ratings, Fox is reporting on WikiLeaks and crushing it in the ratings. So wouldn't fucking the other news networks go, hey?
No, they're crushing it because everyone knows that that's where you can get news that isn't liberal biased. That's their thing. They're the only game in town. We're the non-liberal biased media. So the people that think it's a liberal bias, which I'm not saying they're wrong, they're watching that. That's why they have such ratings. That's how they're getting the ratings. That's why they're on the right.
Listen to speaking of liberal bias. Listen to fucking jerk off Cuomo on CNN. He actually said this yesterday.
Also interesting, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us. And in full disclosure, let's take a look at what is in there and what it means. Joining us now, CNN.
We're learning. We have to take CNN's word for it. We can't go search WikiLeaks ourselves and make our own decisions. We have to go through Chris Cuomo and CNN. Don't you hate? Well, you can relate to this because you fly all over the country like I do. Don't you hate sitting if you fly Delta and they have the TV blaring?
Yes.
It's always CNN.
I hate everything about flying. They're just pumping the shit into you. They never stop talking. It's brutal.
Yeah, and nobody's watching the TV. Is my point.
Yeah, and then in first class, people just lift that arm right up and they grab you like octopuses. And by the way,
that was a line. That was a line from a song.
Was it?
Yeah. What was the band? Was it again yesterday? Was it Velvet Underground or? Look at everybody. All my producers are looking at me with cocked heads, like. But it was a line from like a fucking Lou Reed song back in the '60s or something.
Were you disappointed that the Post didn't use the headline "Octopussy"? Because I feel like they missed a good opportunity there.
I've been feeding them good shit for years. Like seriously, snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
I tweeted that the fucking day before they put it out.
Wait, what was that from?
That was when Loretta Lynch. Remember when they fucking?
Right.
So Bill Clinton said, "Listen, if you take care of my fat-ankled wife and you don't charge her, we're gonna fucking let you continue on."
Don't you like that kind of
maybe
stuff,
put you on the
though?
Supreme Court. Yeah, I know you enjoy that type of.
Well, it's just mobby. It's fun.
It's mobby. I told you, Hillary's like Mrs. Corleone.
You can never lose your family.
What the hell else? Yeah, we get to. How about this? You ever watch that guy James O'Keefe? He's on.
I know Willie O'Keefe.
Willie O'Keefe. Who was
Yeah.
that?
That was Kevin Bacon and JFK.
Oh, I thought
You've
it
never
was-
been fucked in the ass.
I thought that was the you know what, wide receiver for the Jets. Willie O'Keefe had 11. By the way, Patriots. Oh. But this James O'Keefe guy, he works for that Project Veritas. It's like a Breitbart thing. He goes undercover, like he goes into Planned Parenthood, with the cameras,
Yeah.
and exposes people. He's got a new one coming out. What do you got on your knee there? A little load? He's got a new one coming out. He went undercover and talked to these groups that are funded by George Soros that send, goons into the Trump campaign and start shit.
Yeah. And
then catch the Trump supporters for retaliating. They call it bird dogging.
Bird dogging chicks and watching beaver.
That's right, bird dogging.
And banging beaver. What are you guys doing? You should be bird dogging chicks and banging beaver.
That was from Cuckoo's Nest, if anybody under 66. But he went undercover anyhow and met with a few of these groups, and they didn't know, he was under and asking questions and shit.
Yeah.
And this is the seedy shit that, again, maybe it happens on both sides, but I haven't seen anything, with Soros funding it, sending these goons in. It's, he talked to this guy, Scott Foval, one of the subjects of the recent James O'Keefe thing. Fox News has released a quote from Americans United for Change, Brad Woodhouse, stating, Americans United for Change has always operated according to the highest ethical and legal standards. Scott Foval is no longer associated with Americans United for Change. Let me play the clip. This is him going undercover. He's telling you about the operation he's doing here. He's great at this shit.
It doesn't matter what the frickin' legal and ethics people say. We need to win this motherfucker.
Hillary is aware of all the work that you guys do, I hope.
The campaign is fully in.
And then they tell Hillary what's going on.
Well, Hillary knows through chain of command.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting we wait around. We need to start this shit right away.
Okay.
On every one of these fronts.
Okay.
What I call it is conflict engagement.
Mm-hmm. That's your version of reenfranchisement.
Conflict engagement in the lines at Trump rallies. We're starting anarchy here.
Starting anarchy.
This is part one of our undercover investigation into the dark, backroom dealings of the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign. The culmination of a year-long investigation infiltrating the machine from the bottom all the way to the White House. There are concerns this election will be rigged. What you're about to see will make you uncomfortable and angry. It's graphic, uncensored,
must be my last special.
Our attorneys say there is strong evidence of criminality, and this is just part one.
This is Chris Hansen's new show?
Only better.
Oh, yeah. You won. They're rock and roll. So I'm basically Deputy Rapid Response Director for the DNC for all things Trump on the ground. Nobody's really supposed to know about me.
Nobody's really supposed to know about me.
We have mentally ill people who we pay to do shit. Make no mistake. This guy named Cesar Vargas is his name.
I got a priest to cry on camera once.
He goes, I got a priest to cry on camera once.
That's all fake. That was done in the sound studio.
Yes.
It was done two offices over.
No, exactly. But that's the thing. It's not audio. It's on camera and shit. But that's what they do. It's bird dogging. And again, Soros is behind all of it.
Yeah.
Who Hillary's having dinner with this weekend or just did or whatever. But Foval also explains how the operation is set up to allow the DNC and the Clinton campaign plausible deniability in the event that the true nature of the deliberate violence is discovered. The thing that we have to watch is making sure there's a double blind between the actual campaign and the actual DNC. And what we're doing, there's a double blind there, so they can plausibly deny that they heard anything about it. That's kind of creepy, isn't it? She's like Mar Barker. And I'm not saying, but, you put on the news, you combine that with CNN, the New York Times, and look at these rowdy Trump protesters.
Yeah.
It's really dirty. And you're still going to vote with this whore?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying. But on the other side, we do have some psychos at the Trump rally, like legitimate ones.
Of course.
I got a clip of one. This guy, and if you have it right, if this guy had of course he had 4 hats on,
Yeah.
His face is bright red from probably I'd say a pint of whiskey an hour.
Yeah.
And he kind of got a little threatening. But I heard it on 2 radio stations on the way in here. I saw him on TV last night on a couple stations. But this is a Trump supporter.
I feel like Hillary needs to be taken out. If she gets into government, I'll do everything in my power to take her out of power, which if I have to be a patriot, I will.
What does that mean?
Take it any way you want to take it.
I mean, that sounds like a threat.
What did he say after that?
Oh, that dirty cocksucker. He said, take it any way you want to take it. That's how he ended it.
Well, then the guy said, what does that mean?
And then he just said it
I feel like
again.
he pop smoked and disappeared.
But my point is, he was all over TV. Like Trump has been wearing a bulletproof vest since the primaries. That's how many death threats he gets a day.
Right.
I don't see Hillary wearing a vest. Maybe she is. I don't know if that's fat or it's flak jacket. I can't tell.
She's wearing bulletproof calf pants.
But my point is, they put this guy all over TV like this is the typical Trump support, typical righty is like me, fucking white, tired guy.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I mean, no, there's obviously bad eggs. There's
I think the typical guy like you is going, fuck it. Hillary's pretty moderate. She she's heavy on defense. We'll just vote for this broad, and hopefully we'll come back and get them. I think the people on the Trump side, I hate to paint with a broad brush, and I don't want to sound...
Unless you're a Mexican doing my garage. What?
I don't want
That's
to
offensive shit.
I don't want to sound like one of these... millennials you discuss, or these hipsters, or a skinny pants guy with a fedora. But I think most of the people that are still on board with Trump have some amount of misogyny or racist tied to them.
Oh my God, you've been in New York too long.
I think they're
really, even after you're accosted by 5 people of color on a train 2 nights ago.
Yeah, I don't see how those are related. What's that? Is the show over?
No, we're halfway through.
Oh, he gave me the finger.
Yeah. We're talking to Joey List. He sends me all these texts. Oh, I'm scared to talk politics. Comes in here throwing haymakers, and he's been the best guest so far. Again, this is only day 2.
One fart. Not haymakers. It was one haymaker.
No, I'm talking about verbally.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, you're always shitting your pants. That's just, it's like hanging out with Hillary. By the way, she has a bed in her van. It's DiPaolotics. We're going to take a short break. We come back more with Joey List, maybe his life partner, Mark Norman. He's probably being mugged somewhere. But we'll be back right after this, kids. Why'd you do that? I didn't ask to give out the fucking number. Is that how it works here at fucking Sirius? I don't want to hear from anybody. How about that? It's the beauty of radio.
I'm going to start a competing radio network called Just Kidding XM.
Strong Middles, 93 XM. Hey,
I don't like Comedy Greats. Makes it sound like you're dead, though.
Not necessarily.
Comedy
what are you talking
Greats.
about? You gonna tell me Elaine Booles is not great? Oh yeah,
is she dead or alive?
That's a good point. Hey, welcome back. My buddy Joe List is here. If you folks go to Nick DiPaolo, connect. Let me start over. Let's go to connectpal.com/Nick. I have a podcast. Well, you can hear it on riotcast.com for free, or iTunes on Monday. If you like the podcast, you go to connectpal.com/Nick, and you can subscribe to 2 to 3 more shows a week at $3.99 a month. And it's growing like a lump on Hillary's ass. So I suggest you get in while you can before Sirius grabs me up for $18.5 a year. Yeah, motherless fucks. Anywho, what else did I want to plug? Oh, October 28th, I'm shooting a 1-hour stand-up special at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, New York. It's a Friday night, so come on out. Already sold a ton of tickets. I did WBAB. That's a Long Island thing. And but October 28th, come out to the Suffolk Theater at Riverhead, and go to nickdip.com for all your DiPaolo needs. Joe, plug your podcast with your buddy Mark Norman, who's on Colored Time. He's not here yet.
I got a podcast called Tuesdays with Stories, and it's free every Tuesday on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that stuff. And it's rather irreverent and funny and silly, and it's exciting. And I have an album called Are You Mad at Me, available on iTunes.
Yes, which was #1 in the nation.
For 4 days.
For 4 days. The last person to do that was Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. He put out his own. He was singing songs from Les Mis.
It's called Monkeying Around.
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
Anyhow, back to the show. How about white privilege, Joe? Are you buying into that? And this is why I don't vote Democrat and never will. It's the shit that's going on college campuses, which comes from the far, far left, I understand.
Yeah.
Not from a nice guy like you, but still your party, so fuck you. You blame me for Dick Cheney, I'll blame you for the...
But no, it's a bummer.
And why you professors, the girls with the mustaches and the...
Yeah, it's a bummer. I have to be part of that. That's what the two-party system is. I have to be part of this system that's like, you can't say that, and it's a bummer.
No, you could be... start your own party.
Maybe I'll start my own party. I'll call it the
two comedians go, the Say Something Funny party. What do you call it when you're not interested?
Stag party? Isn't that when you go by yourself?
A stag. I never understood that term.
Fag. That's what it was.
So first of all, tell us about. I know you had a girlfriend up in Harlem. I think she was she was a drummer for Buddy Rich, black chick. Wait a minute, he was a drummer. What am I saying?
She was a drummer.
No, she was a keyboard for Prince, wasn't it? No, I'm kidding. It was a fat boy he had up there. He was a running back out of a... No, you lived in Harlem.
Yes.
Because you did. Oh, Becca was your girlfriend
Becca,
back then.
yeah.
So you moved up there.
Throw her name out there. I'm joking.
I'm sure the fucking phone's going to ring off Becca's house 11 times because...
Yeah, Becca. I lived with Becca in Harlem, and then she left, but she went to South America, which was sad. And I
so
said,
she enjoyed your dick, huh? Jesus Christ, she should get farther away. Was she doing work down there with Tim Kaine? But you lived in Harlem.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit. I remember you used to tell me stories, and I'd be laughing so hard about like you holding the door for a lady, and she was like, "You white piece of shit, get out my way."
I don't know if that was the story at all.
Well, it was something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
I remember my favorite story was when our refrigerator broke, and then Mary, our landlord, she came. I was like, "Hey, our refrigerator is broken," and she's like, "Oh, y'all want to put your Cokes in my fridge?" And I was like, no, I want a fridge. We got to fix our fridge. She's like, "You put your Cokes in my fridge," and I was like, "Why can't you just knock on your door at 2 in the morning and be like, 'Hey, I got a slice, Mary'?"
Hey, where are the white women at?
So there was stuff like that, but there was no real crazy incidences.
You told me something it was an old lady, black lady, dropped something, and you ran like a quarter mile to pick it up for her, and she just spit in your face. Wasn't that the...
I don't know about that. I can't remember.
Come on, they were great stories. Don't clam up on me.
I can't remember.
Don't
it was
become
10
a liberal
years ago.
fag.
I just don't remember that story, but that sounds right. I mean, it was a lovely time in my life, and
didn't you came out and your car was up on blocks or something?
No, but there was a time.
Oh, your
was
girlfriend was up on blocks.
No, there was like 7 guys sitting on my car, and I was going to leave.
Oh, this is a good one.
And there was like 6 or 7 guys sitting on my car, like not just leaning, but like full on the hood, the trunk. And then I was like, all right, just never mind, I won't go. And then my girlfriend was like, well, did you say something? And I'm like, what are you, fucking crazy? Like, I'm going to be the one white guy in Harlem being like, hey, you knuckleheads, get off my automobile. But I did used to leave. This is true. I would leave. I
love these stories.
I had a Martin Luther King CD with like all his speeches because I was.
I thought it was him on trombone. Didn't he put out live from the fucking?
It was him and Birdman did a thing. But I left that in like the front seat and my B.I.G. Notorious B.I.G. CD and like a basketball, so it would be a little. Yeah.
Oh my God! Now you talk about racism. On a soft racism.
Well, it was to try to make it look like a black person was there in the car. But like Mike Vecchione.
I knew you weren't a liberal. I knew it. I knew you had some sense.
Mike Vecchione used to have a Dominican flag hanging from his rearview mirror when he lived in Washington Heights. So you looked like, hey, I'm cool.
No, I agree with that. When I was in Astoria, I had a fake Muslim beard. I had to put on a skull cap.
No, yeah,
sandals, and it's 11 degrees. I'm walking back to 38th Street.
Well, it's very Greek, so I fuck my girlfriend in the ass every night. Thank you.
Holy Christ. Is that what that line was? Listen.
Sorry, folks.
Let me tell you, folks, it got real ugly real quick, didn't it?
But I enjoyed my time in Harlem. It was great.
Yeah, I could tell. You couldn't get out of there quick enough.
No, it was nice.
Saw Joe running down the street in his robe, and a guy that looked like Terrell Suggs was chasing him the day he left. But now you came in here, and you had mentioned that you were accosted on the subway recently, and before we get there, let's play the. Can we play the clip of the Trump card? You ever see this guy Joey Salads?
I don't think so.
He does things on the street, remote stuff. Well, they put a car in a black neighborhood in a parking lot, and they covered it with Trump stickers and shit.
Oh,
was
wow.
it Detroit, Andy? Remember what town it was?
I don't remember what
It's like, no, it was Westchester County. It was actually Chappaqua. No, they put a car in a black neighborhood, and they put Trump stickers and Trump hats in the back seat and shit.
Yeah.
And it took about a half hour before a few of the local residents stumbled upon the car. Let's listen to that clip.
No, it's open, bro. This shit open, G's. Yo, G's, this shit open. I'm with Trump. Yo, this shit ain't got. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yo, I'm about to violate the house, boy. Oh, shit.
They got some shit right here. They got some...
Oh, hold on. Yo, y'all fucking bro.
That was a break.
That's not real, is it?
Yeah, it is. I'm sure CNN will debunk it tonight.
It sounds like explosions.
It sounds like Obama voters.
Somebody come here.
As you can see from this video, the black community is very violent towards Trump and his supporters. Now, when I was filming this video, there were people out the window yelling, F Trump. And after filming, I talked to some of the spectators who were black and said that they did low-key support Trump, but they're afraid of the backlash from their community.
I just had to play because we played the redneck. We played him threatening Hillary, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The lunatics on both sides. But that wasn't that happened to your car, didn't it? When you were living up.
No, but those sounds sounded ridiculous. They sounded a little over the top. No.
Well, we tweaked them.
Oh, I see.
I sat here for an hour breaking that window with a bat until we got it right. No, that's right off the internet. I know it's hard for you to believe that could happen to a car.
No, I believe that happened to a car. I believe that the sound sounded insane.
I
It
know.
sounded like a fucking 9/11 happening.
I'm trying to get a lot of windows. It was an AMC Pacer. Remember, it was like they were like fish balls. Remember those? Didn't you get a hard on as a kid when you were throwing ice balls at cars and an AMC Pacer came down?
Absolutely.
You could see the whole family in the back. But so what happened to you on the subway? Because race is a part of the election, and recently you were accosted by, I think it was 3 Polish kids, wasn't it?
It was. They might have been Greek. I don't know.
Probably were Italians.
No, I was on the train, the N train, and which is a pretty,
don't get racial.
Which is a pretty, I would say, the safest train. It's definitely the nicest train.
And even with a letter N on it, you think it's the nicest. Well,
it's definitely the nicest train. That was Nick, and this is Joe. Everybody.
I take the W train. I find that one to be clean and
the W is
or the
gone.
C, which is Caucasian.
The W is coming back.
I used to take the N all the time. I'm from Queens.
Yeah,
so what happened though?
It's the best.
Seriously.
So I get on the train at Queensboro Plaza, and it was. I always get to the back of the train because I don't like to. I like to be by myself. You know.
What are you, the Rosa Parks of Queens?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I'm at the end of the train, and it's me and one guy, and then there's like a junkie guy. He's white, just painting a picture. A white junkie passed out. You know, one of those guys down there. And then I get to Queensboro Plaza. The other white guy, he gets off, and then
that's where I get off.
A group of six, I would say between the age of 17 and 20-year-olds.
And what time is this?
Hey, there's Marcus.
What time is this?
This is at like 7 p.m.
Okay.
Come on in. You're right at the beginning of a story.
Come on in, Mark. How are you?
There's Mark Norman, everybody. You're going to hear the story twice today. So I get on the train, and it's me and a guy that looks like Mark, but he leaves. Then a junkie sleeping.
Right.
And then a pack of I would say 17 to 20 of African-American persuasion, just painting a picture here. And they get on, and at first I thought they were just kind of wild guys. At one point, before the train took off, one of the guys got in between the 2 cars and was kind of Spider-Manning between the 2 cars.
Jesus, I pulled a groin doing that a couple weeks ago. Go ahead.
And then the other one, the guys were like, get out of there, you got to chop your head off. So I thought they were just kind of fun teenage guys.
Who said get out of there, you're going to chop your head off?
The other kids. They seemed concerned for him. They were like,
I thought they were yelling to you.
They were like, quit monkeying around or whatever.
Be careful.
And so then they came back in, and then the train starts moving.
Yeah.
And they were just loud, and sometimes people are just loud. Particular people are just loud.
Yeah.
And so
my family, obnoxious.
They started
at an Olive Garden. You get the wrong sauce. Oh, these fuckers won't shut up. Go ahead.
So these kids, they start yelling at the junkie. They start fucking with him because he's sleeping. So they start yelling, going, "Wake up!" And they're screaming as loud as they can. And then all 6 guys are yelling as loud as they can. It's annoying, and I'm like, stop fucking with this guy. Then they start hawking loogies on him.
They're spitting on the guy that's passed out.
Yes. And then I'm just looking at my phone trying to be like, oh, God, I can't wait for this train ride to be over. This is horrible. Yeah. And then they start bringing their attention to me. They're like, hey, keep looking at your phone and I'll kill you.
Ooh.
And then another guy goes, look up and I'll kill you.
Oh, no.
And then I was like, well, I don't know what to do. We got to come up with a compromise. So I just kept staring at my phone, hoping they wouldn't, come down. And then they start calling me a white fag and a white bitch. Hey, white bitch, look down here, you white bitch. That kind of thing. Then they kind of went back to spitting on the other kid.
They didn't spit on you?
No, because they were way down
You were in a
the other end.
tuxedo and a top hat, right? So
Yeah.
they probably respected you.
And red rose.
So they were telling you to, if you look up, I'm going to...
Yeah, they were kind of
what?
threatening me or whatever. But I think they might have just been these wild teens yelling or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Then they were like, let's rob this guy.
Well,
talking about the passed out guy. And they're like, he ain't got shit. We should rob that kid. They're like, rob that kid. Meanwhile, I'm just like panicking, hoping the train will get to the station.
Well, luckily your clothes saved you. They took one look at the $11 Target shirt and they were like, fuck this.
Hey, this is a Bernie shirt, $25. Went straight to the campaign.
Oh, is that what you got?
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd win. He seems like a genuine guy.
I think if he won, this would be the greatest landslide in the history of politics. I think he would annihilate Trump.
Yeah, I know you think that.
You don't think
That's
that?
not what absolutely not. He's a fucking...
I think the polls do
He's a
say
guy
that.
who never grew up. No, they don't, actually. I got my own polls. Mark, how you doing?
Hey, good.
What's
Thanks for having
happening,
me.
brother?
I was at the Schumer show where the Trump fans walked out.
Really?
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was
that
very
kind of
50s.
fucking odd. She went a little long with the... She brings a guy up. Why would you vote for Trump? Right?
That's what pissed him off.
That's not gonna help.
But
how many people were there, Mark? It's an arena, so
8,000.
8,000?
Yeah.
Oh, she had a bad night, huh? 8,000. I had 11, I think, at Helium last Wednesday. But so yeah, a couple hundred walked out. That's a national fucking event. I mean,
plus, look at all the buzz she's getting. It's a big move.
It's all orchestrated.
Yeah.
You know, right?
And now she's at the Garden tonight.
Is she at the Garden?
Yeah. 14,000.
14K.
Yeah. I believe it's 14.5.
That's what I made in comedy last year.
14.6 even.
Holy shit. Now, have you done any opening for, like, the arenas type things? I was talking to Joe about that.
Yeah. I mean, this is the second Garden for me, and
Jesus Christ.
For her.
Ewing didn't play that much at the fucking Garden.
I know.
Good for you, fellas. Mark, who are you voting for? I'm trying to keep this. I'd rather just chat, but you know.
No, I don't vote. Never have. Probably never will. Not
You're
registered.
from Louisiana, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's all crooked down there anyway.
Great. It's lawless down there. It's the Wild West.
I got a white. What do we got here? We got a white privilege survey.
Oh boy, I love that.
This Cherry Creek School District in Colorado.
In Denver. That's where Becca's from. Callback. She's from Cherry Creek.
Oh, they say a lot of dirty girls over there. That's what it says in the article.
Oh boy. I can't speak to that.
She was seen with two defensive backs from the Broncos. What's her name? Rebecca what?
I can't speak to that, but I can't stop winking at you.
Anyways, a number of Cherry Creek School District employees are frustrated over the white privilege survey the district recently had them complete. Students didn't have to take the survey, but the employees did. The survey includes 26 statements such as, because of my race or color, I can comfortably avoid, ignore, or minimize the impact of racism on my life. The survey takers are asked to score themselves a 5 if the statement is often true for them, a 3 if the statement is sometimes true for them, or a 0 if the statement is seldom or never true for them. Let's take a look at the survey. That's a little weird.
Yeah. It sounds
This
like a
whole
Facebook
white
survey
privilege
just
concept, you know what that is? You weren't around for slavery. You didn't do it to us, but your relatives did. So this is sort of, we're going to try to
But
make
this
you
seems
feel
like there's
guilty.
some privileges to being white, are there not?
Oh, sure.
I'm not arguing that point, but what do you want me to fucking do about it? I already pay fucking skyrocketing taxes.
That's how I
thanks to a
feel
certain...
Also.
Yeah.
Well, there's privileges to being black as well.
That's right.
In this business, for sure. But I don't know how much outside of this business.
You learned that quick, didn't you? When you got to New York and started going on auditions.
Yeah, but I mean, societarily, I don't know how much advantage there is.
Well, if I see a black guy on the train playing loud music, I'm not going to say anything. But if I see a white guy, I might go, hey, come on, buddy.
That's true.
They say...
that is your white privilege to be afraid of that black man.
Here's some of the survey. I can go shop. Here's some of the survey. I can, if I should need to move, I can be pretty sure of hassle-free renting or purchasing in an area in which I would want to live. Yeah, that's called fucking paying attention in high school, getting a good-paying job, and.
Yeah, what about earning it? You know.
No, exactly.
But I think the thing is
I knew the guy
that,
from Louisiana would be with me. I can go shopping alone most of the time, pretty well assured that I will not be followed or harassed. So they're implying that if you're white, you can go shopping in any town. What are you talking about? If you go to the black mall, you ever go to a black mall?
Oh, yeah.
I get harassed all the time.
Why would I ever go to a black mall?
What are you talking about?
Get
The
the
food
new-
is delicious.
The new
there.
Jordans.
You don't like Red Lobster? Come on. When I am told about our national heritage or about civilization, I am shown that people of my race made it what it is. Yeah? I didn't even get that one, do you?
Well, I think that they're taught that white people made it what it is. I mean, but that
I wasn't
seems,
taught that. My nieces haven't been
seems-
taught that in the last 20 years.
It seems pretty accurate to
Maybe
me,
what-
honestly. I mean, I'm not saying it's fair, but
Well, I had that fight with Keith Robinson, my black buddy, remember? And I said,
I know
what
Keith
about your
Robinson.
culture? What have you going to do? He goes, with the pyramids. And I go, they were supposed to be square, stupid. And then some insurance company actually lifted that line, which I said 10 years ago to the guy, Manny. Remember Manny that ran the car? He thought that was the funniest thing ever.
yes.
Here
You
we
keep
go.
asking us to remember things that you're like, you remember Keith Robinson? I'm like, I saw him last night.
Oh, I thought he died. I heard he had a stroke. Haven't talked to him.
He's close.
I can do well in a challenging situation without being called a credit to my race.
I think these are all real things. These are actual. Here's the
Really?
thing.
When's the last time a white guy went to a black guy of any prominence? Like, I don't know, pick an athlete. Odell Beckham. You know, man, what? You're a credit to your race. When's the last time anybody, and I'm not talking about a NBC Law and Order episode. I mean, it's like when you watch movies today and you know, guys are saying real sexist shit to women at the office. Shit that you haven't heard white guys say to a woman.
Right, hey,
You know?
where'd you get that shake, honey?
No, but there's a lot
I'm
of.
not saying that doesn't exist. I'm just saying I think it's insulting that you're making white people take a survey to go, hey, look, you're fucking, everything's been handed to you, asshole.
No, it's insane. We were talking about this on
That's
our
the
podcast.
premise.
White privilege is a term that's been around for like 6 months, and people act like
I know.
they act like you're an asshole if you're not talking about it a lot. I'm like, you just learned this 3 minutes ago. Oh, jeez.
All right.
Boy, what a weird way to end.
Why not? That's the beauty of this, dude. This isn't smooth.
It's our privilege to end any way we
If a
want.
police officer pulls me over, I can be sure I haven't been singled out because of my race. Well, don't get in a Nissan and do 170 on the Bell Parkway. That goes for all of yous, folks. Hey, I want to thank my guest today, the Mighty Joe List.
I was the co-host earlier.
And yeah, the co-host. And Mark, well, you became the guest, and Mark Norman showed up for the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Plug your podcast real quick.
Tuesdays with Stories.
On iTunes.
And my podcast, go to connectpal.com/Nick and sign up, folks. You can hear it free on iTunes on Mondays. Thank you, Sirius Radio 94 Comedy Greats. I'll talk to you kids manana.